Hi everybody and welcome to the United Stand. This is your Manchester United versus West Ham preview live. I hope you're all doing well. Goldbridge has been down the pub and he's got tummy ache. That's why he's late. Hopefully we'll get through it. Anyway, look, massive game. We've got to bounce back. We've got to put in a performance. And I think it's going to be a very, very difficult game for Manchester United because I do think as well, I'm going to give you a headline that we're going to discuss. Manchester United in £420 million debt. Yeah, we'll talk about that. But also, Fred needs to be dropped. And you know what? It's almost like if you... I've heard Luke Shaw be called fat. I've heard Marcus Rashford be called shit. I've heard Paul Pogba, let's sell him. But drop Fred, and it's like someone's bloody nicked your family jewels. It's like... he can be dropped. He's a bloody professional footballer. He can be dropped. So we'll talk about that. But first of all, I want to get into what the show is all about. It's a West Ham preview. We're also going to be talking about the latest financials from Manchester United. And a very interesting tweet here, not tweet, but statement from Ed Woodward saying that we're firmly committed to helping Ollie deliver success on the pitch and winning trophies and playing attacking football the Manchester United way. This is from Ed Woodward. Do you think he understands what attacking football is? Do you think he understands what the Manchester United way is? Because I don't think Ed Woodward or Richard Arnold or anybody else has got a bloody clue what attacking football in the United way is, to be honest with you. I really don't, because if that is what one of the principles is, why has it not been demanded over your tenure, Ed? You've been here for 8-9 years. I've never seen attacking football the United way. So, yes, you can get good brand deals. Yes, you can buy good players. Yes, we can finish second and third in the league. But over your last 9 years as chief executive officer, I haven't seen any attacking football the United way. Failure, Ed. Failure. Stop talking about words and deliver them. Don't talk about attacking football in the United way when you've not delivered it for 9 years. These are just empty words, and these are why people don't trust you, Ed. You need to deliver on these things. You can't just spurt out nonsense. People are not stupid. You cannot say attacking football the United way is one of your targets when you haven't delivered it for 9 years. Come on, do better. Anyway, we're going to talk about Manchester United versus West Ham. But as you can see, today's show is sponsored, because it's a preview. It's sponsored by Ultimate Fan. I know a lot of you have been playing this and you can play it as well. The link is in the video description as ever. And I'm going to talk you through something in relation to that now. Ultimate Fan is a football fantasy with a twist. Imagine fantasy football combined with a super cool pack openings. The game is super simple to play. All you've got to do is be over 18 and download the app totally free using the link in the description. Follow the super simple sign-up system and then you'll be able to start opening packs and filling in your team for this coming weekend's fixtures. There is also Ultimate Fan Plus for you to explore. This section features paid for gold and silver packs where you can receive extra cards, exclusive content and much, much more. Each week there are prizes available for the teams that perform the best, and this week's prize pool is £8,500. So it is free to play, but you've got to be over 18 because there is cash giveaway. So this week I finally got a decent defender in my packs, which was Andy Robertson. I can also update my club from Burnley. See you later, Sean Dyche. Don't leave me, Goldbridge. And hello, Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool, which actually isn't much better. I'd still rather be Burnley, but I know it's an upgrade in the game. So still no mighty Manchester United, but at least they'll score me more points than bloody Burnley. I'm also going to swap things around in attack by taking out Declan Rice and Calvert-Lewin and putting in Raheem Sterling and Fabinho. So we're getting there slowly. Could really do with a constant goal scorer though. Ronaldo would be nice in my pack next week. And another defender, but the team is coming together. If you want to check out my team, we have posted a pic on the United Stand Twitter page. If you head over there, make sure to drop your screenshots of your team in the comments for us to check out, and I'll be having a look at them after the stream. If you want to take part in this week's awesome game, then hit the link in the description and you can start playing Ultimate Fan today. Thanks again to Ultimate Fans for supporting the United Stand, and now let's get on with the preview. And if people don't know how that works, basically it's free to play, it's over 18s. You open the pack, you get your players, you put your team out, and they accumulate points for you over the weekend's fixtures. So that's how it works there. But look, let's get on with Manchester United's biggest fixture of the weekend, their only fixture of the weekend. It's Manchester United against West Ham. So that's the team I think Ollie's going to pick. I think he will pick Fred. I don't think he'll pick Delo actually. I threw Delo in there because I did it on purpose. I haven't really done it by mistake. I have done it by mistake, but I do throw it in there as an interesting point because I do think in relation to Delo, there are some people that would say, well, yeah, let's do play Delo in this game because ultimately we are playing, Wan-Bissaka is going to miss games soon. So why would you not play him there? But I would actually play Wan-Bissaka. I'm not going to drop Delo there. I'm not Ollie out. I'm Ollie observing, says Rhino. I like that, Ollie observing. He's the best manager we had since Alex Ferguson, but not the man to win us titles. We'll talk about that in a moment. But look, I do think that'll be the team that he picks. I know that it's going to cause a little bit of frustration, but Solskjaer does that. I'm not even going to say I'm not saying Solskjaer purposely frustrates, but he doesn't pick the team you think he's going to pick. I'm telling you now, it's very hard to pick an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer starting 11. That's not the team I would pick. I'll tell you the team I would pick in a minute. But the back four will be the back four and De Gea will play in goal. I'm convinced he'll play Fred with Pogba. I would play Matic. I think he will play Fred because he's more mobile. McTominay is not back. Cavani is not back. So McTominay can't play in this game. Cavani can't play in this game. I think he'll play Fred because he's mobile. I think Matic is the better option. I think Pogba plays better with Matic, but I think he will pick Fred because he is mobile. I don't care if he's bloody mobile. I couldn't give a toss. Mobile home. Get home. I'm not bothered. Park him on my drive. I'm not interested in mobility. I'm interested in a bit... Fuck mobility. I want ability. You can tell I've been down the pub for lunch. But loose lips. I apologise for that. But realistically, I'm not... You know what? I'm not playing. I'm not playing. And I don't know why some Uniteds are playing. I don't know why some United fans are playing. I ain't playing. Why are we playing? Football's more than playing. I've watched teams with bloody Cantona and Hughes and Ince and Giggs and Keane and all those lot. I've seen the 99 side. I've seen the 08 side. They ain't playing. They're not playing. They're not turning up and going, yeah, this is a good laugh, is it? We're not, why have we got that mentality? Why have we got, it's worth a try? I know he's been shit, but let's give him another go. We're Manchester United. Fred's been shit against Southampton, shit against Wolves. Why are we gonna pick him again away from home? Why are we gonna do that? Yeah, he was good against Leeds and he was okay against Newcastle, but away from home against Southampton and Wolves, he was bloody useless. And we're actually playing against a good midfield. So I would drop Fred and I would play Matic. I think 100% I'll be absolutely stunned if Lingard doesn't start this game. Ollie is infatuated with Lingard at the moment. Every interview he does, he's trying to get him to sign a new contract. He's an England international. These are Ollie's words, not mine. He has 100% penciled him in for this game. In fact, he's probably spending the weekend with him because Jesse played for West Ham. Jesse, what can you tell me about Moyes' West Ham? Tell me all the secrets over a Chinese takeaway and a game of Monopoly. It's Saturday night with Jesse and Ollie. And I think that, I think people laugh, and I'm joking. I'm joking. I don't think Ollie watches, but if you are watching Ollie, I am taking a piss, Part of the show is sarcasm and banter. That's the whole point. But the reality is, I do think that he will have penciled Lingard in. He did it with Sheffield United and Henderson a couple of years ago. He does that. He does pencil players in, especially when they're playing against teams that they've played for before. I'm 100% convinced that Lingard will start this game. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I definitely think he's going to start. I think Greenwood has to start, and obviously Ronaldo has to start, so that means Sancho's on the bench. Remember, guys, we're still top of the league if we win. Come on, United, says Daniel. Great point by Daniel. We are top of the league. Say we are top of the league. We are top of the league. Sean De Silva, thank you very much for joining the members club. But that's how I think he will line up. That's how I think Ollie will line up. How would I line up? I would take Fred out of the team and put Matic in. I would take Lingard out of the team and I would put Sancho in, and I would. That's what I would do. But I don't think he's going to do that. I really don't. I think he's going to go with Lingard on the left, and I think he's going to play Fred in the midfield. And as we talk about West Ham, my score prediction for this game, by the way, is this will be 1-1. I don't think this is going to be a win. I don't think we're going to lose. I think it's going to be a 1-1. I want us to win. Of course, what's the point if you don't want us to win? I want us to win, and I think we could win. You know what? I'll actually, sod it, I'll tell you the truth. Two scenarios here. If we go and play the way we can play, I think we'll win it 3-1. If we go and play the way I think Ollie will play, and I'm challenging him here, I think we will draw 1-1. I think Ollie will go and play pragmatic, keep it tight at the back football, and it'll be 1-1. I think if we go there and attack them, we will beat them because we've got better attacking players than them. They don't have Antonio. We don't need to worry. Now, talking about West Ham, I think they're unbeaten in their last 7 Premier League games. They've won 2 and drawn 2 of their first 4 games. They played quite a lot of their first team players on Thursday night in the Europa League game. So, they could be a little bit tired and they'll give it a go, but I think that without Antonio, we keep catching West Ham without Antonio. I'm sure last season we played them and they didn't have Antonio either. And, he's a massive part of their team. So much so that they don't really have a backup striker. Haller's gone, as we know. And it's difficult to see what they might do. They've brought this Vlasic guy in, I think is his name. He could play as a 9, I suppose. Bowen could play as a 9. Yarmolenko could come in and play as a 9. But they're going to play a 4-2-3-1 unless he completely changes his system. And I think that without Antonio, we've played remember last season when we played West Ham and it was 1-0 at half-time and then we beat them in the second half. Pogba scored a really good goal and they thought the ball had gone out. They could have been 4-0 up, but they had no number 9. And I think that is why I'm 100%... No, I'm not going to do that. That is why I'm very confident that we will not lose to West Ham. Because even if they're the better team, I don't think they've got the goals in them without Antonio. And I think we saw that last year. So I'm expecting a carbon copy. This will either be a 3-1 win or we'll draw 1-1. But I don't see us losing this game because I think they're toothless without Antonio. If only we can have coaching who can introduce tiki-taka football to United as Tariq. And Ollie in, Ollie out becomes so toxic. I'm Ollie out myself, but understand Ollie in his point. It becomes so toxic that I don't want to watch a match, says Jay. Oh, you know what? I can't be arsed with the toxicity. I really can't. I don't get it. At the end of the day, we're all fighting for the same thing. And fighting's the wrong word. We all want the same thing. We dream the same dream. We want the same thing. Manchester United to win. Now, the reason people want... And look, I don't think anybody ever says this. They don't. I don't care whether you're a blue tick United fan on Twitter, whether you've got your own fan channel, whether you've got your own website, whether you just go and watch the games, whether you've never been to the games. It doesn't matter to me. If you're a Manchester United fan, I don't think anybody ever really says this. Everybody wants the same thing. Whether it's Mike, what's his name on Twitter, who wants Ollie out adamantly, whether it's, Jonathan Schrager, who's massively behind Ollie on Twitter. They're both Man United fans. They're both Manchester United fans. They both want the same thing. Now, I'm not saying that those two people fall out, but there's plenty of people who fall out. And I think, why are you falling out? You know what? I've always said this from day one. I've had my ups and downs on social media, as people know. But I've always said, these gobby people who want to slag me off and everything like that, I've always said, come on a show, let's go. Let's do it. Because ultimately, we want the same thing. We want the same thing. And Ollie Outer wants Ollie out so they can get a manager in who thinks he'll get us to win. And Ollie Inner wants Ollie to stay because they think he's the man to make them win. Everybody wants the same thing, but they get really vicious and abusive with each other. But you want the same thing. You're arguing for the same thing. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous because we all want the same thing. I want Manchester United to play the way that United should play. And I believe the players... some people say, whoa, would you rather play good football and not win the league? Or would you rather play like Mourinho and win the league? And you know what I say? Shove your hypothetical nonsense into a Google website and go and play with yourself. Because the reality is, if Manchester United play the Manchester United way with the players we've got in that squad, we win the league. It's not a hypothetical now. You've got Cristiano Ronaldo, Jadon Sancho, Mason Greenwood, Marcus Rashford, Bruno Fernandes, Paul Pogba. If we play the United way, we will win. We will win. And I think that's where the frustration is coming from now, is because maybe 4 years ago, maybe 2 years ago, maybe certainly 6 years ago, play the United way, you're probably going to finish third. Play the United way now, which is attacking football, with the players that we've got, we will win things. Because the one area we are stronger than any other area in that squad is attacking talent. We are blessed with attacking talent. Cavani as well is another player. We are absolutely blessed with attacking talent. And we should be playing in an attacking way. And I don't understand why we're not. But, hopefully we will end up doing it. But West Ham, I've been impressed with West Ham under David Moyes. I think they're a very, very much improved team. And I think they will be well organised, but we can beat them if we go on the front foot. Now, as I said, it might be a little bit controversial, but for me, Fred gets dropped. Fred gets dropped because he was crap against Southampton and he was crap against Wolves and he's been crap with Pogba. And I don't care how long he's been, the fact that he's come out, as I said this morning, with an interview saying he's working hard on taking the ball off the back four and passing it forward. This sounds to me like when I was about 17 years old and I went to work as a welder, right? And they gave me the course. Now, a welder puts a big bloody mask on. I don't even know what you do. You have this like metal gun and you sort of weld metal together by melting it, right? I went on all the courses and I was absolutely shit. I read all the books. I had the mask on and all I had to do was weld these bits of metal together to build hospital beds and everything like that. And I was absolutely terrible at it. Rubbish. I used to stay after work. I'd put the hours in. I was crap. Absolutely crap at it, right? Now, Fred's coming out telling me I'm learning to take the ball off the back four, to take it on the turn, to try and pass it forward. I'm like, oh my God, why is that even allowed to be released as an interview? Who is in charge of Manchester United Football Club in relation to players talking nonsense about tactics? Why is Fred doing an interview telling the world that he's spending time after training learning to take the ball off the back four on the turn and pass it forward? This is Manchester United. We are being mentioned in the same sentence as winning titles and Champions League. And we've got our number 6 telling us all how he's putting the extra hours in to take the ball on the turn from the back four and pass it forward. Bloody hell. It's like Goldbridge with his bloody mask on, welding 2 bits of metal and taking his bloody hand off. What? What are we doing? Why are we doing that? Why is he allowed to do an interview like that? He's basically telling the world, I don't know how to play as number 6, but I'm going to try really hard. Tomorrow, I'm in a world poker tournament where if I lose everything. My whole house, my family, the lot. But I tell you what, I'm going to read a book on it tonight and I'm bloody confident. That's actually a hypothetical. But what I'm saying is specialism. Specialism is so important, and many of you are saying this. Have we got specialist top level coaches? Have we got specialist midfielders? No, we haven't. And yet we get excited about vibes and work rate and effort and personality and wants to work hard and will work hard and will do the overtime. But you know what? I don't think Fabinho and Rodri are sat at home reading a book on how to be a number 6, and I certainly don't think they're spending extra hours on the training ground learning to take the ball on the turn and pass it forward. And yet we're doing that with a 28-year-old. It tells you something is not right with that midfield. We have left a hole in that midfield. Can you show your team, says Daniel Kirk? My team is that team on my left with Matic in for Fred and Sancho in for Lingard. I would go with the same team, yes. I do rate Fred. He can hold the 6 on his day, but Donny is different gravy. The quality is night and day, but we all know Scott will be the starter. Stephen, I'm going to absolutely nail this down right now because I am not having this. To all the knobheads on Twitter who keep telling people that I'm the reason that people mention Donny as a 6. I know there's a lot of room in your head. Give it a big knock. It will sound like someone's knocking at the door because it's so hollow. I have never said that Donny is the solution at number 6. Donny himself said it, not me. So if anybody has got blood on their hands for saying Donny van der Beek's a number 6, it's Donny van der Beek. He did the interview with Rio and he said that number 6 is my best position with a number 8. Not me. I do not believe Donny van der Beek is a number 6. I think he's a number 8. I don't think he's a number 6. I've never seen him play as a 6. So how can I say he's a number 6? I'm intrigued. I'd like to see him play there. And certainly, I will say this. If Fred's having to stay back and read books about being a number 6, I certainly think Van der Beek's a better 6 than Fred. But we haven't seen Donny at a 6. And the reason I think Donny's a better 6 than Fred is because Donny's a better footballer than Fred and he's more intelligent than Fred as a footballer. That's the only reason, but I wouldn't do it. If Fred has to learn that as a professional, he shouldn't be playing, says Kevin. Well, no, I think there's a good footballer in Fred, but I think the reason that Fred's having to learn it is because he's not a number 6. That's why he's having to learn it. He's not a number 6. And I think that's the reason he's having to learn it. Our games literally come down to whether or not Fred is switched from kickoff. 80% of the time he ain't. Same with Lindelof. We need consistency badly, says Man Child. Well, look, I'm going to go with a draw in this game. I'm going to go with a Mason Greenwood 1-1. But I do think that if we perform to the level we can perform, I think it could be a Nemanja Matic 3-1. I do, 31. He does wear 31, doesn't he? So that's what I think. Yeah. Anyway, also, just want to bring you in some other news just very, very quickly. Manchester United's debt stands at 420 million, but it has come down by about 50 million as well. Obviously, we've lost money in relation to match day revenue. I'll go through those things in a minute. But some interesting quotes from Ed Woodward, who I'm still struggling to find a reason why he's still at the club. I think he's going in November, but there was talk of him going in the summer. But Ed Woodward's given some quotes anyway. He said, "We significantly strengthened the squad over the summer, and these signings have demonstrated our continued ability to attract some of the world's best footballers to Manchester United and our firm commitment to help Ollie deliver success on the pitch." You know what, on that, I've always said this as well. I will applaud United on the summer they had this summer. Varane, Sancho, Ronaldo. I'm not, no, not going to be negative. He's absolutely right. They've significantly strengthened the team and they've shown that they can bring in top quality players. Varane is a world-class centre-back. Sancho is a world-class potential right-winger. And Ronaldo is one of the best players in the world. So, look, I can't disagree with that. Absolutely important and absolutely spot on. The most important part of this recovery is the return of fans to Old Trafford, and it's been fantastic to see and hear the stadium full for the first time in almost 18 months. As part of this, we've continued to strengthen our recruitment and scouting processes, and we've also increased our investment in the academy to ensure that success is sustainable. And then this is the big line from Woodward. We've been clear in our strategy to build a squad with a blend of top-class recruits and homegrown talent, comprising a balance of youth and experience with the aim of winning trophies and playing attacking football the Manchester United way. And as I said at the start of the show, that to me is where Woodward should have left that line out. He keeps doing this. He's done it probably at least 3 times in the last 3 years. He's mentioned United's strategy is to win trophies playing attacking football the United way. He needs to leave it out. The reason if I was his writer of his speeches, I would say, Ed, we have had a really good summer. We have brought top talent in. You can say all that you're dedicated to promoting homegrown talent. Mason Greenwood, there's some good players coming through. You've brought top talent as well with Varane and Ronaldo. Young talent with Sancho. Absolutely spot on. This is great. But leave out playing attacking football the United way. Why? Because you've been here 9 years and we've never in 9 years played attacking football the United way. And you keep saying that it's one of the targets, it's the aim. But you're basically exposing yourself as a failure on that point because you keep mentioning it year on year and you don't achieve it. Now, you either don't achieve it because you don't understand it or you don't achieve it because you're a failure. Now, either way, it's not good. I think he thinks when we win a game of football, we're playing the United way and attacking football because I don't think he understands that when you win a game, there are different strands to winning a game. I don't think he really understands football that well. I think he thinks if you beat Newcastle 4-1, you've just played attacking football. Well, yes and no. It was a very enjoyable game, but it wasn't, attacking football is probably 20 shots on target in a game like that. We didn't have that. And some would say, well, that's a bit extreme. It was a really enjoyable game and I did thoroughly enjoy it. But I think that if you sat Ed Woodward down, he would say that we've achieved attacking football the United way. That's the scary thing. These people on the board, I think they think when you win a game, that means... I bet if you said to them, we finished second last year, how would you describe the football? Well, we finished second. It's attacking football the United way. I don't think they understand that Jose Mourinho can win a title playing pragmatic football and not play attacking football. But I bet if Ed Woodward was the CEO, he would think, well, that's attacking football because we've won the title. It has to be. How do you win without playing attacking football? Don't think he understands that level of depth. And I think he needs to leave stuff like that out of a statement because after what happened on Tuesday and actually what's been happening for a year where we've not really played attacking football the United way, we've been quite good at getting the results without playing the United way. He needs to leave those sort of statements out because he exposes himself as not understanding what he's talking about. And that's always been something that's levelled at Ed Woodward. You're a banker, not a football man. You don't understand football. So why are you talking about the United way and attacking football? Because actually, Ed, you've been CEO since 2013. So you've been CEO for 8 years. And you have presided over the longest period as CEO, probably in our history, of non-attacking football. Like, even if you went to the 70s, we still played attacking football. 60s definitely, 50s definitely, 80s we still had those principles, 90s, noughties obviously under Sir Alex Ferguson. So for him to keep mentioning attacking football the United way exposes his shortcomings as a CEO, because he's got no idea that he's actually talking nonsense and exposing himself. Because we don't play attacking football the United way. We didn't under Moyes, we didn't under Van Gaal, we didn't under Mourinho, and many would argue that we've not done it much under Ollie. And yet he keeps mentioning it. He keeps mentioning the attacking football and the United way, when it's one of the key things that people are not happy with, even now. Even most Ollie-inners would say, look, there's potential there, but he's not delivering it. So there we go. We were relegated in the 70s, but we played attacking football when we got promoted and in the season that we're in Division 1. Like, of course, getting relegated is not great. Of course it's not. But the principles of Manchester United in the 70s compared to where we've been over the last 8 years, we played better football. Now, I wasn't actually alive then, so I could be talking out my arse, but everyone's constantly telling me that the football in the 70s, whilst the playing standard wasn't the level you'd expect of United from the 50s and the 60s, the 70s, in many ways, I speak to a lot of fans who were alive then, and they loved the 70s with United. We stopped Liverpool winning a treble by stopping them winning the FA Cup. You know, we did get relegated, but we got promoted straight away. We did play some good football. So, you know, there you go. Also, let's just talk very quickly about the financials. Make sure you smash a like on the video, by the way. The financials are as follows. Manchester United's net debt has been reduced by 54.6 million from a year ago and now stands at a staggering 419.5 million. Wages are up by 13.6% due to participation in the Champions League. And also matchday revenue has dropped by 92.1%, as you would expect, to 7 million from 90 million the year before, but that's because there's no fans in the ground. Wages are up 38 million to 322 million. I mean, bloody hell, what players are earning? It's magnificent. Manchester United's broadcasting revenue for the year is up from 114 to 254, though. This is due to Champions League football and 20 additional games. So, you know, actually, United talk about the loss of money from matchday revenue, but there's the maths. And look, I implore people to actually analyse these things, because they will say, oh, we've lost loads of money on matchday revenue from 7.5 million. 90 million went down to 7.5 million with no fans in the ground, right? But with no fans in the ground, had TV revenue went up by 140 million. So we lost 80 million with fans not being in the ground, but we made 140 million on TV revenue. You know? Commercial revenue down 46 million to 232 million. A lot of that will be to do with the similar sort of thing as well. So the financial situation isn't as bad as you might think, to be fair, apart from the fact they're in ridiculous debt. When I said that we can't solve DM role without a transfer, I meant Ollie already has a top class squad and there's no excuse to not find a way to cope, says Dowell. And hey Mark, how would you feel about a midfield with Matic and Pogba holding and Van der Beek, Bruno, Sancho would create more chances and service for Ronaldo, says Joey Lopez. I can tell you right now, mate, the front four is going to be Rashford, Bruno and either Greenwood or Sancho with Ronaldo. But I said it this morning and I'm not afraid to say it again. I think Jadon Sancho is going to be a really important player for Manchester United, but many of you said it over the summer, and I'll say it right now. If on Sunday Sancho doesn't start and Greenwood starts, the mind does start to wonder why Sancho was the priority at £74 million when that could have been spent on a number 6. If Greenwood's going to start on Sunday again, and I'm not saying he shouldn't, you probably could argue that he should. If Sancho's going to be a bench player for Greenwood, even when Rashford's not back, and Lingard's going to start ahead of Sancho, you've got to question why he was the number one priority signing at 74 million when that 74 million could have been spent on a holding midfielder. And I'm not moaning, but what I'm saying is the answer is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wanted Sancho and not a holding midfielder. And that is what you need to go into this season for. I know Fred's not good enough. I know Matic has got question marks about his ability to play at the highest level consistently at his age. And McTominay, probably a bit like Fred, we just don't know whether he's good enough. But the reality is, we could have bought a holding midfielder. We decided not to. We decided to spend £74 million on another winger. That's what the club decided to do. Ollie, Carrick, McKenna, Murta, they all wanted Sancho. Now, if they're not going to start him, that's up to them. If they are going to start him, great. But they could have spent that money on a holding midfielder and they decided not to. So you shouldn't give them excuses to say, oh, when we get Rice next summer, when we get Bellingham, those players, look, we might get them, we might not do. But we decided not to get a midfielder this summer and go for another attacker when we've got loads of attackers. If we'd never bought Jadon Sancho, and I'm glad we did, I am glad that we did, but if we hadn't bought him, would we have been short for wingers? Rashford on the left, Martial on the left. Lingard can play left or right. Greenwood can play right. You've still got Diallo. Palestri wouldn't have needed to get loan. You've got Alanga. We've got loads and I mean, Mata's still at the club. I don't want him playing on the right, but there's a lot of options. Mark, do you not think for defensive reasons Pogba will be dropped for McTominay, as McFred together is the closest thing we have to one proper CDM? I can't see Pogba being dropped, Mark Friedman. I don't think Pogba will be dropped. I think that's why we've always found a place for him, whether it's left wing or not. I don't think Pogba will end up sat on the bench. Sky Blue, thank you very much for the super chat there. I tell you what, I've really enjoyed the show and I can't wait for the 8 o'clock show. I feel pumped up for these shows at the moment. And I'm expecting a response from Manchester United on Sunday. I really, really am. But my prediction is 1-1. That's the team I think he'll pick. I would drop Fred and play Matic, and I would play Sancho where Lingard is. But I'm absolutely convinced he's going to start Lingard because he played for West Ham last year. It's the sort of thing Ollie does. Some would say that's quite weak coaching. I don't know. He just seems to like it when somebody's played for a team. He did it with Henderson as well. And Fred is more mobile than Matic, and I think that's what it will come down to. So I think Pogba and Matic work best, but there you go. Just want to say as well, Driving with Goldbridge is out. I had a bit of a challenge this week on Driving with Goldbridge. Spencer, who runs hashtag West Ham fan, Goldbridge, he picked a game between Man United and West Ham. I picked a game between Man United and West Ham. We had to try and name as many players as we could. Check it out on Driving with Goldbridge. Really good episode with Spencer. And also, don't make sure you play Ultimate Fan. You've got to be over 18 to play. 8,500 cash prize pool. You get your packs, you open it up, you select your team for the weekend's fixtures, and you accumulate your points. Good fun to play. Over 18, free to play. Link in the video description. Give it a go. Thanks everyone for watching. We're back at 8 o'clock, and I'm going to be on Twitch in about 10 minutes playing a bit of FIFA, so follow me on Twitter.